everybody, welcome to another episode of VidSite, and this time we're going to talk about brand culture. Are you ready? Let's get started. What is brand culture? I think it's a question people often ask, and I think the best way to define brand culture is how do you treat each other? You think about brand culture, it really defines like what kind of environment do you want people to feel or be part of? Let me give you numbers so you can understand why we've put so much emphasis in talking about this topic, brand culture. 82% of people believe culture is a competitive advantage. 5 out of 10 feel that they are more likely to work harder if they feel their voice are heard. 4 times more revenue growth for companies with strong brand culture. So, do you want to listen? Do you want to hear how you can have a great brand culture and grow your business? Let's get into it. As I mentioned earlier on, brand culture is very simple. It's really much deciding how you treat each other, how you work together, what is the environment that you want to create so people can feel and be themselves. So important. And if you think about the 70s or maybe even earlier, we never talked about brand culture. It's come to work, do your work, you're in your cubicle, and this is it. Then at some point, people were having nervous breakdown and so much more, and you realize you can't really divide how work and life balance and how people feel. They spend most of their day, doing their work. So you want to create a space where they want to come and be part of something big. So that's why brand culture is so important. When you think about your brand culture, what comes to your mind? When I think about my own company brand culture, I think about respect, I think about friendliness, I think about definitely voice. I want everybody, no matter where you are in your career level, everybody has a voice and everybody can give an input. And we're very innovative and creative. This is why we're a creative agency. So we're always evolving, always changing, and I really allow them to do this. And I think what's important as well, like there's a place in our company culture for mistakes. We really welcome mistakes. It's okay, it's welcome to make mistakes so you can learn and grow for it. And something that I will always say when I'm on stage is that you either learn or you win. So when you don't get what you want or when you don't achieve or reach your goal within the business, what are you supposed to learn so you can do better? So when you think about your brand culture, is it friendly? Is it trustworthy? Is it reliable? Is it diverse? I mean, diverse is not really a definition, but really think in terms of, are you creating a space, especially when you talk about diversity, where people want to be together? Why is brand culture so important? Really, if you think about it, it's your brand emotional equity. Think about an environment that you probably don't like your job, but you like people that you work with, or maybe you like your boss. It must have been an environment that, because the brand culture was so good, maybe the job wasn't that satisfying, but at least the people that you were working with made you come to every day and you get so excited. This is what really is so important, because it also reinforces great brand morale, should I say correctly, but also higher productivity, better customer experience, of course, because when you are in an environment where you feel happy, you're more likely to also serve your customers, your clients with more joy. There'll be a situation where you call people, you can see they don't like their job, but definitely have a terrible brand culture. But also increase engagement, because when you get an environment, people feel like they are valued, they're part of something big, they're more likely to want to contribute even more. And as a result, obviously, it increase the bottom line, which is increase your profit. So brand culture, remember, morale, increased engagement, increase obviously retention, also customer engagement, customer delivery, obviously profit, as we mentioned, and productivity. It's funny because when I think about my personal journey, but also as a business, as an entrepreneur, I've been so lucky to work with some of the most amazing brands. And I think you can tell a lot when people are in an environment which they love and they go further than just doing their work. And whatever it is Microsoft, whatever it is Apple, whatever it is PlayStation and Amazon, I work with all these companies. And you can see really this is an essence, which is more than business. You can see when you speak to the individuals, they have a brand and they really want to make sure that they present the brand in such a way that will also attract more talent into the business. So when you think about Microsoft, I love this quote was picking up from Jennifer, from Principal Developer Evangelist at Microsoft. She said, our growth mindset culture let us try amazing things. We're innovating like crazy right now. And this is so powerful, because if you think about one of the most successful businesses we have, who are top of the FTSE 100, they are driven by innovation. They are successful because they're continuously innovating and evolving. When your company stop evolving, you are literally, digging your grave. So don't do that. Let me tell you a story to show you really how important brand culture is. Satya Nadella, who became the CEO of Microsoft in 2014, really from the start, really emphasized the importance of family brand culture, collaboration, and teamwork, which was so key. I think an element that, I'm really strong on is also diversity. And he applied the same approach. Culture should be built around growth mindset, if your company, if you're really implementing and putting that seed in the mind of every employee to have a growth mindset, you can only grow as a business. And also what was important is really hiring people from diverse background. As you know me, being on Free College Road, I'm also the founder of GTA Black Women in Tech. I put a lot of emphasis on Black women because that's why I can relate. But obviously, diversity is also a power, it's a commercial value. And this is what it did. And everyone has the capacity to grow and develop, what was amazing. Everyone, no matter where you are, receptionist or obviously head of a big department, you had the possibility to really just implement and innovate. As a result, the market value of Microsoft went from 300 billion, which was already humongous in 2020, to 2 trillion today, right? This is the power of brand culture. This is the power of brand culture. So do not neglect it whatsoever. So let's get to the juice. How can you improve your brand culture? First thing first, improve communication. I think one thing that I do, and I always think about my own as me being a leader in my space, I really welcome, and I remember when I was employed and working for another company, which I'm not going to name, the CEO was moody. You never know what it was a good time to speak to him, and he never took any of my advice. I was really much in my box. I was only allowed to do what I wanted to do. And I think that was so terrible. And I realized when I wanted to start my own business, I want to create an environment where people can be themselves. And also being French myself, we love, a constructive agreement. So we don't have to agree and I don't have to be right. And I always tell them, like, I don't have to be right. If you think you have a better idea, come and give it to me. And by nature, I can see the passion that, my great employees have because I know that it's a safe place to be themselves. So really improve communication. And sometimes, and I think I would say for all the managers, if all your team is failing, it's probably coming from you, but that's another conversation. I would say if you think that you have people who are very talented and not performing to their best, maybe it's a communication issue that you really want to work on. And again, using the right tools, the right technology, not only evaluating your employees, but also evaluating yourself. Are you doing the right things to make sure that they can communicate with you both ways? So make it really 360. Another thing that number two, which I'm very big on, and as you know, is diversity. Diversity is powerful. I remember when I started building international brands, we need to understand exactly how to sell to the Chinese market. We need to understand how to sell to the Middle East market. And if we all look the same in the room and we didn't have diversity at the heart, then we make some drastic mistakes that would cost our clients millions of pounds. So I really knew from the start I needed to have a diverse team to be able to improve our competitiveness, but also make sure that our clients build brands that resonate around the world. So really diversity is not an act of kindness. And I say that all the time, is good business. Another thing I want to say again, I've really attached to, remember, brand culture is how we treat each other. Create an environment that really people respect. I know for me, I really value respect, but also because of the fact that I have different accents, so I don't want people to just mock around or whatsoever. And I don't realize sometimes it can be microaggression, which can be really annoying, and I don't like that at all. I still have my strong French accent, and it's part of what makes my brand what it is right now. So really create an environment of friendliness and teamwork is essential. I hate, the fact that people need to work in silos. I always encourage work. So when we create piece of art, whatever you see behind that we've created, it's always an action of a teamwork where we have this discussion together, and together we create something that is amazing and unique. So really, really create an environment where people can work together and create as much friendliness and respect is so, so key. Another thing I would add is allow employees better ways to balance work and personal life balance. It's so important. What do you want to do? I know companies, for example, who have in place, unlimited holidays. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes when you give people limited holidays, they don't take any holidays at all because they're just scared. So really create an environment where does it have to be everybody has to come to the office every day? What is an environment, especially if you know your people, if you have people who have children, they need to have something that help them also personal life balance. So if it becomes a constraint, people look for something else. You've seen for COVID and, after post-COVID, people have moved outside London and choose different places because they wanted a better, more spacious area. So are you forcing your employees to come to your office every day? As you can see, every time you speak to me, it looks like it's empty, but I have a lot of people who are here, but I don't rely on the fact that they have to be sitting next to me to be a great performer, to work really well, should I say. So really think in terms of what kind of environment you're creating for them to feel themselves and really have this discussion. And I think it's so important when you think about brand culture, don't think for your employees, really think in terms of what is best for them. And it's a conversation where you should have with them. And again, something that really reinforce and reduce your staff turnover. I always say to companies that the most important people in your success of your business are your employees and your clients. If you treat your employees badly, they're not going to treat your client right. So really treat your employees well, right first, and they will treat your clients very well. And the last thing, which is so important, again, something that I love as well, I always push for recognition, achievements, accomplishment. My favorite word in the office is thank you. I will always say thank you. And I really want them to really take the time, because I think it's funny, because one day someone asked me when I was delivering a keynote, he said, what's your big win? I said, I don't only think about the big win. I think about the small wins. So, for example, every Friday in our team, we have meetings where we discuss things that we're very proud of achieving. So really evaluate, because sometimes when you think always about the bigger picture, your employees not able to really sense or see the sense of accomplishment and how much they play a part in a bigger vision. So really give a sense, create an environment where you encourage achievement, accomplishment, and so much more. And it doesn't have to be every day, but make it as often as possible so they can really feel that they feel valued. I hope that you enjoy this little thing, and please do share with us what is great about your brand culture. What is some of the strategies that have applied that work really, really well? We've talked a little bit about that, but there's so much more. We can talk about community within the business, LGBT groups, Black employee network, female, women in tech network, and so much more. The more you create this community, the more you improve your employees' engagement, but also the faithfulness that they have for you. And as a part of that, they're more likely to brag about how good it is to work with you and to work with your company. So enjoy and build a great brand culture that you want to be part of.